What's up, guys? It's the Podcast Boys back with episode 130. It's going to be a great episode. We got a new cameraman today. Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas, zoom in on the lens. So we're going to be, giving him... You don't have to zoom in directly on me. Just,
Okay.
yeah.
We're showing him the ropes, getting him
Yeah.
used to the camera,
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll just start with story time. So
Mhm.
I'll start us off first. Okay, so this week, I didn't have school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because I was at provincials for soccer, and my team came third. Honestly, it was really fun. It was the same place we had Catholics, so we also had this tournament early in the year at BC Catholics, and it kind of followed the same format. Basically, there's I think there's around 15, 16 teams, and basically you just play, you're in a different group, and then you play the different teams in your group, and then if you get more wins, it's just points. Whoever has the most points goes on to semis, and then if you win semis, you're on to finals. So the first day, we won. We played really good both those games, and honestly, it's just a really fun environment. Everyone gets to school early. We go on the bus, get to the field, go to the locker room. Everyone's playing music, getting hyped up, and honestly, it's big team building too.
Yeah.
Big tournaments like this and provincials too. Everyone before they're everyone's cool and tight, but at the end of the tournament, I feel everyone's a lot closer, and it's just big team bonding experience, I think. So the first day was great. We got 2 wins. The second day wasn't so great. We had a win, and then we had a loss, we had 2 losses, sorry. So we lost because we'd won the first 2 games. We had a game. Our third game was basically irrelevant. So basically they just kind of rolled the bench, and they played a bunch of guys that don't normally get that much time. But we lost, but it wasn't really worth anything. And then the big game was on our last game on Tuesday when we played for finals. So basically it was to get into finals, and we played against this team, and they were very good. It was so close the whole time, but they just outskilled us a little bit and got the win. But honestly, it was such a good game, and we were so close to securing that final spot. But anyways, we got so we played semis, and then we played the third place game. We ended up winning that game. We played very good as a team. And honestly, I'm just proud of our whole team. I don't know, from the beginning of the year, our coach even said you guys, he's I didn't even know if you guys were going to be a good team this year. He said fuck, I'll just go take a vacation or some shit instead of coaching you guys, because I didn't think you guys would be good. And we ended up kind of just, I don't know, exceeding expectations, doing very well, and end up getting third in BC Catholics and third in provincials. So honestly, a great season, and I'm so happy that I played on that team. Other than
you
that,
guys are done?
Yeah, that's our done for the season. So honestly, that's pretty much my story time. I have one more thing. So the other thing that I did this week, obviously there's been lots of World Cup games. Been watching that. Watched the England one this morning. That one was tough. We'll talk about this later as well, but I just watched the World Cup, watching that. And then also last night, I didn't have school today for parent-teacher interviews, so I had to sleep over with some of my friends, just kind of chilling, playing games and stuff. So yeah, honestly, pretty good week. So yeah, that's, I guess
Cool.
I'll hand off to you.
Cool. All right, well, yeah, this week had football practice, going to that. And then we got a big game coming up. And then I've had, because I've been sick, I've had to I did a test. I went in the morning, did a test, and then I'm still, I've caught up already, but that's just what I've done this week. It's just catching up because I've been sick. And then, obviously watching World Cup. I watched the first game, got up early, went to a friend's house on the island, and traveled there, and then we got up early in the morning, watched the game. There was 5 of us. It was really fun, and went back that morning. And then, I've just been watching the World Cup games since then, and it's been a lot of fun, dude. It's so honestly, it's my favorite thing about this is my favorite soccer related event. And I just think that it's like amazing. Because not only do I love diversity, like in the world, but I love soccer. You get the two culture, soccer. Like look at Brazil, culture in Brazil. Like I have a friend that is from Brazil, and she was telling me like she was in the country, and when they scored the first goal, they were like she was hearing fireworks outside her house. Like that's how crazy it is. Like so, it means a lot. And culture really does affect soccer in a lot of places in the world. So yeah, just love World Cup. Happy that it's back. I remember grade 6 it was here, and I did a pool. So everyone in my grade, I got to put in money. I don't remember how much. It's probably like around $2. We all put in money, and then you put your name into, or you submit all the money, and then we have all this collection of money. So then we take however many kids did it. I think we had about 10 guys that had their money in. So 10 times 20, 10 times 2 is 20. So you had like $20, and then I'm just assuming that's how much we had. So then we have that, and each person, let's say, gets 5 teams. So I pull, okay, Justin's name, you get Cameroon, Argentina, Senegal, Saudi Arabia, and then that's your team. And if one of those teams wins, then you get to keep all the money. So I started that, and I had that pool going on, and then we had a charity because we had to have more people. So we had a charity team. So they had like, I don't know, France, whatever. So I had Croatia. I wanted Croatia to win. France won. That was charity. So charity, I went and gave all the money to charity. So that was good. And I wanted to do that again, but it's so hard to do. Like, at the time in my life, at that time, it was so easy because I had this close connection with the individuals. But now it's just going to be bullshit. Like, I had chasing people down, making sure they have the money. Like, I need the money. Like, not many people have cash, coins, whatever. So I just was like, I'm not going to do it. It's just so much work. It's just not going to work. So, didn't do it. That sucks, though. People in my grade have been, like, making bets. Like placing bets and getting money, and like some people are actually getting into it. One guy said that he put $500 down.
Really?
Like serious shit, yeah. Which I mean, at 16, I don't know if that's wise, but hey, your money up to you.
Yeah.
So that's been my week, and I guess I'll give it to you to lead us into topics.
Yeah, so honestly, I don't have many topics, but we'll just kind of like discuss like the World Cup
topic.
Games and all this. Yeah. So this morning, my team kind of this year that I'm like watching that I actually really like the squad is England. They have a bunch of young guys: Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Marcus Rashford. Yeah, so I was just gonna say, yeah, England, like kind of my team this year, who I'm rooting for, and I think they have an incredible team. So I watched the first game. Honestly, it was crazy. Like I woke up because I had to go to the tournament, like provincials, but I wake up and then like it was just after half, and they made the sub, so it was like Jack Grealish, Marcus Rashford, Bellingham. And then Foden went on. I think Bellingham might have been on, but I'm not sure, or maybe he went on. But they sub, and like right after Marcus Rashford scores, and then Jack Grealish scores, like literally right after the sub, which is crazy. And it just kind of shows like the depth they have in their squad and like how good this team can be. Especially like the young talent, bro. Like Jude Bellingham, he's playing great. And I think like England has a really good shot of winning it this year. In their group, they have some tough teams. It's England, U.S., Iran, and Wales, I believe. So I watched this morning, actually, was the England versus U.S. game.
Yeah, I watched that.
I had like a bunch of friends over because we had a sleepover or whatever. And we watched this game, and it was just like so boring. Like this is probably like it was 0-0 the whole game, and like England being a good team, like we expected there to be just like good ball movement, which there was, right, and like good pacing, all this, which there is, but there just was no like they couldn't attack the net. Basically, like for some reason they just didn't have any like offensive power this game, and they were really just like they're out playing and like possessing the U.S., but like they just couldn't convert somehow. So it was just like I don't know, pretty boring to watch, to be honest. But I don't know. I hope that next game they keep. I don't know. They have a more exciting game. But yeah, I think I don't know. That's kind of.
Okay, I mean, yeah, the England and Iran game. What was the final score?
I think it was like 6-2. I could pull it up, but
6-2.
it was a crazy game.
I personally think I watched the highlights. I've been coming home after school and watching the highlights from every game. It's kind of been what I've been doing. And I think that Iran had the best goal of the match. In my opinion, I thought Iran's first goal was really good. Great pass, and the finisher, what's his name? He plays for Porto. He's a good player. So, and then Iran won today against Wales.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, when Iran lost their first game against England the way that they did, people were at my school like, oh, I'm so happy Iran lost. And people are giving shit to the players, saying they're dishonoring like all this country shit because they chose not to sing the anthem.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I think that that's for a good reason that they didn't do that. Unfortunately for them and their families, they could get into a lot of trouble with the Ayatollah. But I don't know, like, why people are getting mad. I mean, you don't, like, in that circumstance, you shouldn't be really bringing in politics. Like, the players aren't the enemies. They really aren't. I mean, they won against Wales, which was very surprising. I would consider that an upset, definitely. And they won against Wales. Wales played like crap. I mean, yeah, they just, Iran dominated. Good for them, whatever. And I think that they put themselves in a really good position to leave the group stage. That would be the first time that they've ever done that. Wales, I think, could still clutch up. USA, the England-USA game, I'm surprised that tied.
Yeah.
I really don't think that England would win. And then Mackenzie has the France flag on his hair, on his head.
That one is.
I'm sure
weird.
He's gotten so much hate online for that. I haven't seen anything, but I'm sure there's so many memes going out there.
What is he, French or like
No.
what? Is it like, I guess it's like the red, white, and blue for
but
the US.
he fucked it up.
Yeah,
Heavy.
He did a literal France flag. Like, I don't know.
He
what
could
he's
have done
thinking.
it. Like, it's a really cool idea if he wanted to pull it off. Typical American, bro. Stupid at no joke. So if he had like red on one side, and then white, and then blue, like not in like a column like he did, but on one side and then another side. Even had some stars.
Yeah.
Maybe just like.
Just put some dots, even like anything.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. He could have easily done that. So.
Yeah.
Typical Americans. Come on, guys. He's good. I mean, he's kind of having some trouble with Juventus right now. They want to kick him out, and he doesn't know where to go, whatever. But I mean, I think he's a good player. And then let's talk about Canada.
Yeah.
So Canada won. I wish. Canada lost against Belgium in the group stage, 1-0. Now I'm gonna give my thoughts. I want to hear yours. So my thoughts on the game. I watched the whole game, and it was the whole 90 minutes were exciting as hell. It did not feel like 90 minutes, and quite honestly, it was really entertaining. Canada won the game in terms of quality of play. They played better, and in general, they just were the better team. We were in the driver's seat the whole time. We've had 21 shots on goal. The possession was crazy, and they just couldn't finish. That was the biggest issue for Canada. They could not finish. They could not get the ball in the back of the net. And that's why they lost. Period. I mean, Belgium, good goal from them. Bad positioning defensively. But I do think that, that goal was great, whatever. But Canada, they had one penalty that they missed. And then the other penalty... They had a penalty that should have been called, and it was actually going to be VAR looked at, and the ref's like, nah. So they didn't call it. Should have been a penalty, easily. The guy stepped on his foot, direct foot, no ball, nothing. Stood right on his foot, and he simply did not give him the penalty. So that could have changed the course of the game, and that could have made Canada tie the game and got a point, this is World Cup. This is crucial stuff. So I think that sucks. And if Canada can play like this, coming into the next games, if they can learn how to finish, then we stand a good chance. I thought we'd get destroyed by Belgium. Belgium's a great team.
Yeah.
They just weren't on their top game. After the match, John Herdman had said, you guys belong here. You guys are doing great. And that's all true. But he made a mistake by saying, we're going to F up Croatia. This has sparked news media in Croatia to be going crazy right now. Saying, oh, you can't let the Canadians do this. You got to beat them, whatever. And quite honestly, from a coach's perspective, that's great, whatever. But you don't want to give the other team motivation like that. By you saying that, that's just so stupid. I got this photo from actually one of the commercials in Croatia, and this appears to be a magazine that's been produced. I don't know what this says.
Who knows?
But from the looks of it, it's not kind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this to Justin, and hopefully he can put this on the screen so you guys can see what we're talking about. But I mean, I don't know what the fuck this is, dude. So, this is the perfect example of why you don't want to do this. Yeah, I mean, that's all my thoughts on the game. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so regarding like the Canada and Belgium game, I think Canada played a great game. First off, they possessed great. They outshot them as well, 22 to I think 6 or something.
Yeah.
Just we played really well, and unfortunately, I mean, we just didn't get the result we wanted. Alfonso's penalty, that was something in it of itself. People say Jonathan David should have taken that. Why did Fonzie step up and take it?
He's the star player.
He's a star. A lot of people said if any the first goal for Canada to score in the World Cup would be Fonzie, but the thing is he didn't even think about it. He kind of just took the ball, put on the spot, and got ready to take it.
Yes.
So there was no deliberation almost who should take it type of thing. Maybe it was discussed before. Who knows? But I don't think it was a bad penalty. I just think that there's a great save, and unfortunately penalties are so 50-50, right? You just pick a side and wherever it goes, that's how it goes.
Yeah, and about that, Davies. So John Herdman said that he has nobody that he has selected to take the penalties. He just said we'll let the guys decide in the moment, which I don't think is necessarily a good thing, because sure that can be good because you have their players that are painting the bigger picture. But when you should have, in my opinion, you should have someone that is going to take the penalty and have that set out before the game's even started, so you're not scrambling. There's no confusion, nothing like that, and there's no controversy. I don't think Davies taking the penalty was a bad thing. A lot of people are saying his penalty is bad. I personally don't think his penalty was bad, but I do think that he kind of fucked himself over with giving himself so much time. To back him up, though, the ref had to stop him from taking the penalty because people were stepping into the box, so he had to clear them out. But you hang on to the ball as much as possible. Put the ball down when you want to put the ball down, the latest possible. Because, first of all, Alfonso Davies. He's already got enough stress as there is. You know how stressful a penalty is by itself? Imagine in a World Cup. You're Alfonso Davies, a star player. You have to make this. You know how much pressure that is? And I can only imagine what's going through his mind. So, you have to really, take your time, and I think that it just it's so much weight on his chest. He had the ball down for 65 seconds. That's too long.
Yeah.
And I think Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. He's 6'7", plays for Real Madrid, 90 rated, dude. You're insane. I mean, you have to after the match he was asked, what were your thoughts on the penalty? He was just I was calm. And they were like, how are you feeling? They're he said, I was calm. And I was just wondering, what was going through your mind? He said, I was just wondering who's going to take it. And then he said, oh, okay, well, when you found out who's taking it, what did you think? He's like, well, I just knew what to do. And he said, well, did you know where he was going to shoot? He said, yeah. They said, how did you know? He said, because the last 2 penalties he's taken, he's gone to the left. So he went to the left. So we watched Curaçao game. Canada scored a penalty. Alfonso Davies went to the left. So, goalies study that stuff. And players do the same, but the opposite in reverse. So where he's going to save it and what he does. Courtois always goes for the bottom corners because he covers so much of the space. So he almost knows that the players are going to shoot bottom. But the thing is that he always does that. And if you go for the top, if you switch it up and you aim like top bins, he's 6'7". He's gonna save that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's one of the keepers in the world that is almost impossible to score on. So that's kind of adding on to what you were saying. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of people, the thing that like killed a lot of people is just like the volley after like, their rebound, right? He takes the touch goes way into the air, and then he has like a split second, he just goes a little too soon, and the volley just sails way over the net. A lot of people were saying like, oh, maybe if he had a better touch, if like the ball was a little lower, if he timed it a little bit better, like we could have had a free goal. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's done is done, and like you can't really change that, right? Like if you're rushing in on a rebound on a penalty, like it's just like
it's gonna be scrambled. It's gonna be all over the place.
It's not gonna be like polished or like set. Like it's just gonna be like he's just trying to get the ball in the net, right? So I mean, stuff happens. I mean, I don't know. I think that it was just an interesting game. The other thing that I wanted to mention about the game was the reffing. So like you said, there's obviously penalty that wasn't called, like the trip in the box or the push, and then someone sent me this in my soccer group chat, but they sent article which basically said that the ref of the Canada-Belgium game got suspended
for corruption.
For corruption, as well as in the last World Cup, there was something with added time. There was like he added like an extra 5 minutes. No, he called it early when there was an extra 5 added, and that was from last World Cup. And there was just some controversy about that. But yeah, he was suspended for corruption, which is just like. It just sucks. Like to think if we had another chance, maybe we could have scored. The outcome could have been different.
And for Canada as well, that means so much to us. Like, obviously we're the underdogs in this tournament. There's one team that's out already from the World Cup. It's Qatar. There's no way they can come back. So they got one more game, just playing for pride. It's been, we talked about it last week. If they lose, it's the first. If they lost, which they did. It would be the first time in all of World Cup history since the first team, the host nation, plays the first game, first time that the host nation would lose in the first game. And it has happened, so I witnessed history. I don't know if did you watch the game?
Qatar. Yeah. Well, I didn't see that one, but I watched highlights. Like a lot of it, the thing is, one of the screw things about the World Cup is like the times of the games are so bad.
It's like one's at 2 a.m.
Yeah, so you have one at like 2, one at
Thankfully
5, and then there'll be like one at like 8 or 11, and it's just like it sucks because people have school, people have work. Unless you're staying up like really early or you're like I don't know, taking time off your day to go at like 11 or 8.
Which I did. I left school because I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that because we had provincials, but for the Portugal game. In class, everyone had their computers up, like watching the game, and then our teacher just kind of like let us put on the projector, and so everyone was watching it.
We've had that at school.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like the like environment of World Cup. I think that's one of the best tournaments, and I think overall like everyone, this big like community comes together, and I think it's so cool.
It's
like
great, yeah.
No matter what
even
country
people that don't
from.
like soccer.
Oh yeah.
Like some people they'll watch it. But then there's
Mm-hmm.
people that just don't want to watch soccer. They're not interested. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, people will watch it because it's so important.
Yeah, and even if they don't watch it, I know people who don't watch it who still look at highlights or still look at scores, and they're still kind of keeping like
up to date with it.
Yeah, looking at it and checking it, which I think is cool too. Like
Thomas.
To each their own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Thomas behind the lens, But I think overall, like the World Cup, a lot of people are saying, the corruption, like they're paying the host money, slipping money under the table, like. Yeah, this stuff's bad, but at the end of the day, the World Cup's like one of the best like football events in the world. So like, I don't know, like you can get like mad about it and salty about the corruption in FIFA, blah blah blah. But like, I don't know, it's such a great event and tournament, and like it brings everyone together, and I think that's what soccer is like supposed to do, right? Like, and I think it's so cool. So
100%. Yeah, and then they have like, you gotta remember like, we are watching the games and like during school and all that. The final will be during winter break. That's cool. But it's almost reversed. Like summertime, so the World Cup starts in June normally. And in June, we have school. Like I started that pool that I told you guys about earlier in June. So school is already happening.
Yeah.
It's the same, like because it goes into the summertime. So that's when the final starts and all that. So it's not really that different, honestly. But yeah, I think it's so... Watching the World Cup so different when your country's in it. So
Yeah.
different because you have someone to root for and you have more like value to watching the competition. Yeah, I've been really happy with like every team has played. Brazil, like their goal is crazy.
I think that was the best goal.
Yeah, easily.
So far.
Rafinha.
Like, okay, that goal was insane. Like, my dad, like, I got home and he's like, you have to see this. He's like, and he showed me the highlight. Like, he flicks the ball up and then he just throws it
That's
for like,
like
the
some
bite. Like,
Pele shit.
what the hell?
That's Jenga right there.
That is
Brazilian Jenga.
That could win. Like, that could be the best goal of the World Cup. I think it's one of the
so far
contenders for
been.
Sure. Oh yeah, I think that was just
the Ecuador
insane.
goal was really good though.
Yeah.
The header.
Valencia, he's playing so good right now. He's like insane. And
I mean, I didn't want Ecuador to win because they're cheaters. They paid to stay in the World Cup essentially. But Qatar. It's Qatar. Like, do we really like? Qatar and Ecuador are not great. Like, cheer for either. But
yeah, I see that.
The Qatar fans, like, they don't like soccer really. They're just watching it because it's Qatar.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bunch of rich guys. Like, they're all wearing the what is it called? Like the headscarf, not headscarf, but it's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The white, yeah. They have those, and then like they all left, like, because I think they give them out at the game.
Yeah.
Because they're giving out, like, I've seen Japanese people wearing it, and like Canadians wearing it, like Mexicans wearing it. It's cool looking, like when you have it to match your like kit. But the people that like those guys, the Qatar fans, they all left at halftime. Like,
the people walking out, and it's kind of
they were losing by 2. Like, although they're getting shit on, like style of play, like Ecuador's not winning by a lot. They're playing a lot better, sure, but 2-0, you can come back from that. Like, they don't understand soccer. Like, they just leave. Like, they don't care.
I mean, and also, like, I don't think they give a fuck about the money either. Like, people spend, like, thousands of dollars to get those seats.
Yeah.
This guy's probably, like, a rich Qatari guy. He just throws the money. I'll go watch a couple minutes of the game, leaves. Like, he doesn't give a fuck what the result is. They're not winning.
Destroying went to the Ronaldo game and then the Costa Rica game because he's Costa Rican.
Mm-hmm.
And he's cheering for Costa Rica. And he was so, like, he had, slides of his stories. He was so happy. He was like, FIFA World Cup, let's get it. Yeah, money, baby. And then each slide gets like sadder and sadder. He's like, he adds like a tier, like he takes a photo and adds a tier for each goal, like each slide. And then he's just like, and then he showed what his seats were like his surrounding was like in the 7th goal. It was just his dad like picking away at like peanuts and like just eating them, just like drifting into space. Like, they did not care at that point. But he was like, it was a fun experience nonetheless. And he really liked Qatar. Like, he had like a vlog or something of like Qatar in like 2022, and he really liked Qatar. And he was like really happy with the airline and all that, like only speaking good things about it. And then he watched the Portugal game, and the Ghana fans were like Southsiders, but they weren't as big, like they weren't as much people, but they were like the whole game were just like cheering, like they were like Southsiders the whole game.
Yeah.
I noticed Cameroon did not have many people in the stadium, and I mean, Cameroon, not a very wealthy country, so makes sense to not,
Yeah, for sure. One thing I want to touch on too, which I think is like really crazy, is the big upsets this year. The first one I want to mention is the Argentina-Saudi Arabia game. This was a crazy game.
They have a national holiday now.
Yeah, the fact that Argentina was also like literally undefeated for, I think it was like the second longest streak in like all of like I don't know, World Cup history, like undefeated for I think like over 50 something games, 49 maybe. Crazy. And Saudi Arabia, the chances of them winning, I think it was probably like, I think it was around 5% or something so low that there was just no chance that they're supposed to win. Yeah, so for the Argentina game, my coach was just saying, like, boys, don't watch it, like, no point. Argentina's just gonna, like, it's gonna be an easy game. And that's kind of, I think, how that's how, like, I feel like the Argentina players were, like, approaching it that way as well, because it's, like, Saudi, like, it'll be an easy game. Like, we don't need to, like, try that hard. Like, we'll just get this match over with on to the next one type of thing. And it ended up being, like, the opposite of that. Saudi Arabia ended up winning 2-1, and I think this is one of the biggest upsets of the World Cup. Mm-hmm. First off, they broke the streak. The chances of Saudi Arabia were, like, so low, and I think, like, some of the bet things, it was, like, plus, like, I need like 15. Like you would have made so much money if you bet for Saudi, because the like chances of them winning were actually like slim to none. So, a crazy upset, and yeah, they have a national holiday now. And people in Saudi Arabia are going
They
nuts
gave the
over
players
this.
1.2 mil.
Really? Well, like what for? Who
Just
did
for
that?
winning.
Who gave them that?
The government.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
they're rich there. I mean, they got oil.
I guess.
Fuck
Yeah.
ton of oil. They got like the crown jewel thing? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But they're
They're energy independent, so they're like,
Mm.
yeah, they got a fuck ton of money. That's I didn't know that they were given that for the
Mhm.
win. So the second like biggest upset I think of the World Cup was the Germany-Japan game, and again it was a 2-1 score. Again, everyone thought that Germany would get the win, and Japan ended up taking it.
Yeah. I wanted Japan to win. They got some Celtic players on there.
Really?
They're playing
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Honestly, like it's been interesting this World Cup. Like obviously it's fun. Like you have teams that are supposed to win, right? On paper, this team's so good, they're supposed to win, and they end up losing. Like for the Saudi Arabia Argentina thing, I think the whole like the estimated value of the Saudi Arabia team's like 25 mil, right? Or it's like 25 to like 30 mil. Like one of Argentina's players is worth 25 to 30 mil. Like you know what I mean? Like Argentina's like total team values, I think 225 mil or something. Like, it's just insane. 257 or just like something like completely nuts. Like there's no way they should have won. But I think this is why it makes World Cup interesting. Is like
Definitely.
there's big upsets, teams, there's underdogs, like
yeah.
there's all the countries. I mean, it's just like so fun to watch. So, I mean, yeah, that was crazy to watch. And yeah, I mean, let's see if there's more upsets. I mean, who do you think, if there's any teams, underdogs, do you think could take some big games?
Canada's got a great chance.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The way they played.
Croatia, like, so for our next game, we play Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
Croatia's a pretty good team, but
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I have a good feeling about it. I think Canada can do well. We have the ability. I mean, we've played really well. We played well in the Belgium game. Like,
they
that's not a
played
bad
like
game.
they were a world-class team. John Herman was right. They played like they belong, and they do belong. From what they've shown.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after like the way they played and like seeing the fans set them up as well, the morale could be higher and like they could play better as well. So.
Mhm.
True. Ghana is the lowest ranked team in the World Cup. They stood a good chance against Portugal.
Mhm.
Shouldn't have been a penalty for Ronaldo.
Yeah, I watched that game and people were saying, "Oh, it's a penalty." Like
It's not.
it was it was an interesting one because it was like a hand, like he kind of just shadowed his hand.
Yeah.
And there was a
But
little.
he made contact with his shoulder first.
Yeah.
So.
There was a little like this, right, with the
He
hand.
just had his
where he
arm
pushed
out.
him a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it was a bit of a flop, kind of died. But
Yeah.
I think there was contact. I see the call, but
Sam. I can see where he's
Interesting.
coming from, but I do think it wasn't a penalty.
I think that it might have been an interesting call. But hey, Ronaldo, man, that was a crazy pen.
You see Speed's reaction?
No, but everyone in my class said Speed's gonna go crazy. Like everyone just
he was
knew
because
already.
he streams he doesn't stream the games because he can't show it obviously.
Yeah.
But he like puts the score up
Yeah.
and it's just him like
Yeah.
there like
And
watching
he's
it.
yeah. I know. I saw there was like a stream last night, or it was like yesterday or something. But we were watching it, me and my friends, and it was like KSI and Speed or whatever. And KSI was like, "Yeah, we'll put like 50,000 on it, U.S. versus England, and whoever wins will have to get like 50. They give the other guy 50,000, and then Speed has to get a tattoo of like Messi or something. It's like I love Messi, like somewhere on his body, and then KSI had to he had to call football soccer
Yeah.
for like a month, like 3 months or something. He's like, "Yeah, you can't call it football."
Well, did they actually do that?
Yeah, but it was 0-0, so
Mm.
like who knows what happens now? But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some big bets going on.
People were saying when America is gonna versus Iran, it's gonna be like on Fox News and
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a war,
it's
dude.
gonna be some crazy shit. One of the other things that I find interesting this year as well is like there's a lot of ticket problems like outside the arenas.
Oh really?
So basically, the FIFA there's like an app, and that's what a lot of people are using for their tickets. And there was, I think, like networking issues or something wrong with the app that people couldn't log in and get to their tickets. So a lot of people missed a bit of the game, maybe 10, 15 minutes of some of the games just because the tickets weren't working. I would be like pissed if
Yeah.
that happened. Like, you're paying this much money and there's ticket issues.
It's kind of futuristic. Well, not really, but it's not common. Like, I saw a clip getting in. So you have your phone,
Yeah.
you have the QR code, you scan it, and just walk in.
Yeah.
And security just
So
standing there,
weird.
just watching
It's
you.
such a weird thing. Like, there's no physical tickets anymore. It's all online. Yeah, so my question to you is, who is your favorite to win? Or, like, who's just the team that you're supporting this year?
Canada. Yeah, obviously, because Canadian Canada. Do I think they'll win? It's a stretch. I want them to win, and I'll be cheering for Canada to win.
Yeah, simple as that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm definitely supporting England this year. I think, honestly, they have a good chance of winning it. Will they win it? Who knows? I mean, time will tell. But yeah, those are, I guess, our predictions. Maybe.
Are you cheering for Canada?
I'm cheering for Canada
Okay,
for
good.
sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, having your team in the World Cup is like you kind of have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
an obligation almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, yeah. So I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.